Hi there, my name's Glenn Withers and I'm one of the founders of the Australian Physiotherapy and Pilates Institute. I'd like to take just a few minutes of your time to have a chat to you about what we're doing here in Portugal with our partners Bwizer. The Australian Physio and Pilates Institute is one of the largest Pilates providers all around the world. We run our programs in 14 countries around the world, and the key to the success of our program, it comes from the history and the understanding of where we began. So I'd like to share that with you if you just give me a few moments. The APPI started on a scholarship from the Australian Physio Association. Myself and my partner were looking at why there wasn't really enough evidence around Pilates. Yet why was this form of movement, a great form of movement, a great form of exercise, but why was it being adopted so quickly without really a lot of research or evidence around it? So we embarked on a year-long program where we took an analysis of the entire Pilates repertoire. So for those of you that are familiar with Pilates, you'll know that it begins with 34 traditional movements on the mat. And that's where our program begins. But we had a look at each of those movements individually. And not just looking at the movements, we wanted to make it unique. We wanted to make something that was specific to the rehabilitation community. So we looked at it in three ways. And we looked at each movement in relation to pain, pathology, and function. So we know what pain does, right? You have pain that inhibits certain muscles, and those muscles need specific exercises to retrain them. So we had a look at were the analysis of these exercises that were being taught to us in the more traditional Pilates approach correct in relation to the clients we were seeing. And what we were finding was that a lot of the muscles that were being examined and being used in the movements in our clients may not be working that way because they've gone through a painful episode. So we needed something different. We needed more in-depth analysis of why we would use one exercise over another. So then we started looking at the pathology. What pathology would this exercise make better? Or what pathology might this exercise make worse? And we used that understanding through our history as physiotherapists and our experience to come up with our indications and contraindications for the exercises. So we moved away from that traditional approach of just doing one exercise after another because it's in the series. And we came to this conclusion that the APPI method needs to be a clinically reasoned program that you choose what exercise is right for your client. And that's what we teach you when you train through the program. But that wasn't enough. We can all do great exercises, but the key to it is, does that change function? And that's where the last part of our repertoire is really, really important. We wanted to look at every exercise and say, okay, what functional movement can this exercise retrain? And so we went right back to our neurological findings and we went right back to the understanding of what happens in stroke rehab. And can I use practice of a movement to retrain a more complex functional movement? And then can I use a Pilates exercise to achieve that? And that's the essence of the APPI method. And that's what we'd love to teach you when you come onto our courses. So for each of those 34 traditional exercises, we've created levels based on pain, pathology, and function. So when you're dealing with somebody in pain, when you're dealing with them in a rehabilitation program, what you really need to do is make that exercise session, that exercise experience, positive for the client. Okay, those of you that work with chronic pain clients like we do, know that it's really important that they get a benefit of the exercise straight away. Now, Pilates is a fantastic form of exercise and it can help many, many people. But if you deliver it in the wrong way, or you deliver it at too high a level for the client, then they can have an adverse reaction to the exercise and then give up on the exercise. And we see this day in, day out. And that's what the APPI method is all about. There's 4 to 6 levels for you to choose from for the client that's in front of you. So every single client can have a positive exercise experience. And that's the essential thing. That's what we've got to keep hold of in the rehabilitation setting. Pilates can't just be a series of exercises that everybody gets the same movement. Okay, we can't just have it as a workout because you know what? That's not what Joe Pilates designed it like 50 years ago. And many people say if you change it, then you're not doing what Joe did. Well, this is what Joe did. He started from having injuries and he analysed it and he developed a program that was right for him. And in essence, that's what APPI has carried on. That work of saying, you know what, let's not just accept what we're told, let's look at it. Let's find reasons behind it, and let's see if there's evidence out there to support that. And so what we would like to do is using the concepts of Pilates and using those traditional movements of Pilates, give you a step-by-step program that you can clinically reason through So by the time you leave, even after your first 2 days of our Mat Work 1, you've got a series of exercises that you can go and apply clinically straight away. But it's really, really important to us that we don't stop there, because we want to create really, really well-trained, well-rounded Pilates teachers, not just physios that know some Pilates exercises. So it goes beyond that. And we've created our entire program, our Mat Work certification, our equipment certification, and our CPD courses that will take you from learning how to deliver this program correctly, accurately, and most importantly, successfully to your clients that are in pain, right through to working with high-level athletes. And we teach you that on the basis of our experience. Here at APPI, we work with clients with long-term back pain, spinal surgery, long-term pelvic issues, pre- and postnatal issues. We do this every single day. But we also work at the high end. We work with English National Ballet, we work with Premier League football teams, we work with Championship League teams, we work with English Institute of Sport, the All England Club. Really, really intense, high-functioning individuals. And you know what? They still need the same level of care, the same level of attention to detail. So the APPI program, we are very, very proud of. It runs through 14 countries worldwide, as I was saying, and is used in all different sectors. One of the things Pilates is often criticised for is that it's only for people that have the money to pay for it. Or it's only for people that are determined to get better. Well, you know what? We've delivered this program in the public health system right throughout the NHS in the UK. It's been delivered in public health services through America and Australia as well. And it's also been delivered in some of the poorer socioeconomic areas right through South America. So we know the program works. We know that the training of our teachers is unique. We know that the way that our program works is unique because we're going to challenge you to really critically analyse your movement choice. We want you to not just become a Pilates teacher, but become a very well-rounded movement therapist. If you understand movement, and you understand the changes to that movement within pain, and then you have a step-by-step program that can allow you to return someone to their full function, then that's what we want. And at the end of our training, that's what you get. You get a 5-stage rehab program. From step 1 right through to step 5, focusing on how can I get this person's functional retraining working correctly through a fun, movement-based program such as Pilates. So I'm really, really proud of the program. I'm delighted with the team of presenters that we have that deliver this program all over the world. And I'm really, really confident that if you give us a chance to show you our program, to prove to you how our program works, that you too will become a devotee of the APPI Pilates method. I hope to see you on our courses shortly. And in another video coming up, I'm going to delve into the principles of Pilates and give you a practical example of how this program really works.